Good evening. My name is Brittany Francis, and on behalf of the person that invited you to this call, or if you're just a part of our family, we'll want to say welcome tonight. We look forward to Testimony Tuesday every single week. This is my favorite week. We get to meet new people in our family and our organization that are being impacted by this incredible technology. And we get to see faces. We get to hear from each other. We get to hear about what is happening in each other's lives and in our families' lives. And so tonight, if you're new, we just want you to know there's no expectation. We're just excited for you to be a part of our family. That's really it. And for you to maybe gain hope. Now, tomorrow is a very special night. This is going to be the doctor's call tomorrow night. I actually have you don't have to screenshot it yet. I have even a better flyer at the end of this. But tomorrow night, there's going to be doctors, including our very own Dr. Duggar, who's going to be talking about the technology that we have our hands on, the X39, and how absolutely incredible it is. And you're going to be hearing about how it works. You're going to be hearing some testimonies. And then you might turn around and go, but there's so many other people that I really need to hear that. Well, we record this every single week and it's at Top Tier LifeWave on our YouTube channel. So you can find always our Testimony Tuesdays there. But what is really neat is that tomorrow night is a very special call because there's not always doctor calls. So tonight you get to hear how the technology works. Then you get to hear from some friends that have some amazing testimonies. And then you might say, but I need more, or my friend needs more. You have that call tomorrow. So, really, my prayer is that you come in with an open heart and open mind. My husband and I started this technology 2 years ago, and it has been absolutely incredible. I was actually talking to my husband before we even jump in. What is really neat is I was telling my husband, I said, do you know how much weight I've lost over the course of the last 2 years? And of course, as a husband, he doesn't want to say. But it was amazing because we were looking at some pictures this last week, and I said, Rick, my life has totally changed over the last 2 years. And so my husband, he had severe anemia when we first started this technology over 2 years ago. He actually was having to get iron infusions every few weeks. And, um, it was just so incredible to start seeing how my husband's life completely changed. It just completely changed. He actually stopped snoring after 3 days. I had a thyroid condition. That thyroid condition was really ugly. It was horrible. And my T3 and my T4, which are my thyroid numbers, leveled out. And then my hormones leveled out. So there are so many pieces to this that tonight I think you're going to hear some great testimonies of how this technology is impacting others. But from a standpoint of utilizing this technology for 2 years, I want you to understand that the longer that you utilize this technology that we're talking about, the more testimonies actually happen. And this was my latest testimony was the amount of weight that I lost. It was just really amazing. And so I really wanted to share that piece before we jumped into the technology, before we talked about the rest of it. Now, if you were asked, have you been patched yet? Then, or have you been patched at all? You know, this is going to be a question that you're going to hear more and more about. This company is absolutely exploding, and it's not about sales. This is about hope because people's lives have totally changed because of this technology. Now, this is not a normal disclaimer. Okay, this world is in the stem cell world. This is not stem cell injections. So if you get stem cell injections, we'll talk about that, but there's like pointed things that you can get stem cells injected for, right? Well, this technology doesn't do that. This technology activates your stem cells. So you are going to have a different story than somebody else's story. Okay, your body's going to be totally different. So this is just saying, please do not place their testimony on you because your back may stop hurting and it may not, it may be that you want your liver, or your liver might start feeling better, but your back is what is focused on first. Why? We'll talk about that. But first, I want you to understand some validity of the technology. LifeWave is actually over 20 years old. The first original technology was developed for the Navy SEALs. Stanford University got wind of it. They began to utilize it for their swimmers, and that was the birth of LifeWave. So this is not a willy-nilly technology. Our Navy SEALs utilized LifeWave, and then it just developed into something that was really incredible. So just understand that this technology is not in question. We actually did receive the Stem Cell Innovation of the Year award. And so just know that if you do lean into this, you are going to have a testimony, okay? Out of thousands of nominations from over 15 countries, we won the Stem Cell Innovation Award, okay? So why the technology? Before we jump in, before we have some awesome testimonies, why this patch? Well, by the time we're 30, half of our stem cells actually go to sleep. And by the time we're 60, 90% of them go to sleep. Okay, so stem cells actually make up every organ in our body. And when they go to sleep, then we have some problems because they're the master building block of the entire body. It's their job to naturally repair, naturally renew, and really start fixing all the things that are breaking down in our body. So I do want you to understand that because they're found throughout all the various tissues and organs, if they're awake, then they can look and they're heat-seeking missiles looking for the areas that are wrong. And they're undifferentiated cells, which means they have the ability to turn into whatever is necessary for whatever area to fix. Now, again, if it is stem cells waking up, they're going to start selecting and they're like heat-seeking missiles looking for whatever is broken. Okay, so stem cells are a hot topic, right? You're going to go for thousands of dollars and inject them in localized areas. The issue is they're not your own. And David Schmidt knew that. And so he is our founder. He's our CEO. He has over 200 patents, and he invented this technology after years of research. And I love to dig into quickly a 1 minute of how the research works or worked so that you understand why the X39 is such a big deal. When he was contracted, this is over 20 years ago, we're going to go back to our timeline. When he was contracted by the US military to come up with something that they could utilize to keep them awake for 24 to 36 hours straight, David began to look at light frequency and chemical reactions that the body had in response to colors of light frequency. Okay. Now there's nothing weird about that. These are actually his slides that I stole from because I always get the question, where did you find those slides? David Schmidt. He actually studied the principles of light and color, and he actually studied what the ancient Greece had actually studied about light frequency, and he knew that the body did incredible things in response to light, and that we were also beings of light. Again, there's nothing weird about that, okay? We have biophotons that inside of us when we are conceived, bing, a beacon of light occurs. So we're beings of light. Again, nothing weird. That is all very scientific, okay? But he knew that since there was light inside us, that we probably emitted light. So he said, okay, so there's colors of frequencies of light that we have chemical reactions. We emit light frequency. What colors of frequencies do we emit? And so as he started studying, he found, because remember, this is over 20 years ago, he was looking for energy for our Navy SEALs over 20 years ago. Okay. He found that a Russian scientist said and discovered that there is an impact of color, of the red color on the body. When the body accepts that red light, the body actually elevates adrenaline. Isn't that amazing? So isn't that incredible? So he developed this technology, and here you go. The Navy SEALs started utilizing the first ever photobiomodulation technology, a reflection of frequency of light back into the body. And the body naturally elevated adrenaline for our athletes. And so this is over the 20 years ago. So photobiomodulation is not new. But David began to do a deeper dive, and that's why you're going to hear stories tonight. And I'm seeing some hands raised, and I cannot wait to hear these testimonies. But what is interesting is that he decided, okay, if stem cells go dormant, if they go to sleep, there must be a way to wake them up. So after 10 years and $4.5 million and using a machine called an FTIR, studying all the different frequencies that we emit and reflecting them back, he found all kinds of different photobiomodulation patches, but he was on a mission to wake up stem cells. And that is why you're on tonight, the X39. Okay, so this technology reflects the frequency of light back into the body. The body elevates that GHKCU copper peptide in response to the light frequency that the body is accepting from this little patch. Okay, is under a microscope. It's actually a perfect little mirror. And the body elevates this GHKCU copper peptide. And this GHKCU copper peptide is absolutely incredible. Now, we'll get to the activation of the stem cells, but this is what's really cool. It was found in 1973, and it was such an incredible peptide that they started to try to inject it. And of course, you get to see this pike of like amazing things happen in the body, but then like this low. Why? Because it's not yours. It's a synthetic GHKCU. Well, the body elevates its own GHKCU with this patch. And so the skin, the hair, the nails, the lung protection, anti-fast growing cells, brain and nerves begin to fix themselves. Antioxidant power begins to occur. And then here we go, the activation of your stem cells. So the byproduct of the X39 is not just the activating of stem cells. And I don't think that I focus on that enough. This GHKCU copper peptide, because I was putting together a couple of documents for our doctors this last 2 days, I was absolutely floored by the tests and the studies that David Schmidt did because of this technology. It's absolutely incredibly brilliant. This peptide is miraculous. So, this technology is just a proprietary form of phototherapy. There's nanocrystals inside it. Again, nothing gaudy, that are a mirror and they catch a specific color and frequency. So there's no drugs, there's no chemicals that are going inside the body. The body utilizes its own light and it's non-dermal, non-transferable. Doesn't get in the way of any medications. So you see a healthy energy flow and an improvement of stamina, improved exercise performance. These are all daily things that eventually begin to happen as you utilize this technology longer and longer. But it is also proven at the mitochondrial level that some amazing, amazing things are happening. That's why we have a lot of stem cell experts that are starting to jump in with this technology because they're floored. Okay. If you utilize this technology for 6 months or longer, the average age reversal is 8.5 years. 86% of people reverse in age 8.5 years after 6 months of using this. Okay. So within the first few days, 4,000 genes reset. All right. Now, that doesn't mean that right away you're going to feel them reset. Some people feel things immediately, which you're about to hear. Some people take some time, right? But the main piece is that if you go and get your blood work drawn, things are changing. Okay. Within 3 weeks, the brain becomes balanced. So PTSD, anxiety, depression, memory loss. And then within 90 days, the collagen increases, which is the matrix of your body, your ability to jump up and get out of a chair and get out of a bed, right? And then after 6 months, your overall wellness begins to change. The cardiovascular age of the heart reverses. So that's why you see a lot of heart testimonies. The testimonies that you see are just, guys, they're absolutely incredible. They're really amazing. And I love to open these nights up because all of us are filled with such hope. They're filled with such hope. So tonight, I would love for, I'm just going to start with Peter, and then I know that there's several others that are going to be sharing. I did see a hand that I'm hoping will go right back up. But I really would love my dear friend Peter to share because I'm really excited to hear his. And I like to hear his because you heard mine after 2 years of utilizing this technology. But what happens just after a couple days. Some people really see something amazing. So, Peter, I would love to spotlight you. And then
Okay.
my brother is going to be speaking next. That's awesome, Mr. Dickerson. So, let me go ahead and Peter, please share with us what is happening. I just love seeing this precious face, and so many miracles are just happening. So, fill us in.
Well, I started using a product on last Sunday, and I notice more sustained energy. I'm 60. I didn't really have any issues that I thought, but there seemed to have been some kind of strange symptom in my throat. And I was watching what was going on. But within a couple of days of using the product, it disappeared and it hasn't been back. More sustained energy, more stability. I feel stronger. I I didn't notice any weakness per se, but there's just something about using the product. It seems like there's more stability, more sustained energy, and I really appreciate that. I'm looking forward to see all the rebuilding that will take place in my body.
I
Thank
love
you.
it. I love it. Well, but that's just a great example. So what I do want you to know, so the couple that's about to share as well, this is what I love about tonight. We've been doing life with them for a long time. And like Peter, what you're seeing with Peter is he's just used it for a couple of weeks, and that's what has happened for him, right? Well, what I want you to picture is that the body is like a dimmer switch. Okay, so as the dimmer switch gets brighter and brighter and brighter, the longer that you utilize this technology, the more changes occur. And so, it's pretty amazing because yes, many people, 70% of people feel something amazing between 5 minutes and 5 days. 97% of people feel something amazing within 90 days. But then that continues to go. Because remember, we still age. So even if there are some targeted spots that you want to be taken care of, and they are, there are more things that happen in the body. So Lee and Stacy, I would love for you all to share.
Hello. Well, I'm Lee's girlfriend.
Yeah, my wife's out of the country, so we keep it on the down low. No, just joking. My name's Lee Dickerson, and this is my beautiful wife, Stacy. And actually, we've been on the patch for about a year and a half or so. I've had several major things happen to me within the first 3 months of being on the patch. I'm a youngster like my friend Peter there. I'm 60 years old, and I used to have to wear glasses for reading and for using the computer. And I now my eyes have healed themselves. I no longer need glasses, and it's been a wonderful blessing. The next thing that happened with me was my wife can actually attest to this, and she's so thankful for the patch. I used to snore the roof off the house. I had sleep apnea, and it required me to wear a CPAP machine. I no longer need the CPAP machine. I no longer, raise the roof off the house, and she gets better sleep. So it's been a big plus, right, hon?
Yes. Yes.
And the last thing with me that just happened just recently, I had elevated PSA numbers. They were in the fives or sixes, and just had my PSA test done, and I'm now like a 1.4. And so praise God for that. I had a, it was, a, I had some testing done, and they thought I had cancer or what have you, but I don't. And praise God for that. And that's what's happened with me. And I'm so thankful for the patch itself, the X39.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah. So you can put the patch anywhere.
Can you guys share about your pup?
Oh, okay. Yes. Cooper. Cooper was the he was not eating, and took him to the doctor, and they said that he was in kidney failure, and gave me a bunch of medicine, told me, that he needed to see a specialist. And so, Lee and I came home. I called Britt, and was talking about, because it just tore me up because he's 3 years old. And Brittany said, Stacy, put a patch on him. And y'all, I started patching Cooper 2 days later because he was not getting out of his bed. He was not eating. He was very to himself. 2 days later, the dog was running around the house. I put it on his collar. He started running around the house and has been himself ever since. Took him back to the vet, and they were surprised that, oh, the medicine worked. And so I said, no, I put a patch on him. So, yes, it works on animals as well. And I had him with the X39. We patched him with the X39.
Thank you for sharing that. Because, well, so, well, we have 5 dogs now. I can't believe that I'm saying that, but we have 5 dogs now. And so I do love animals. And we actually have a shepherd. And so that's why when I saw Stacy and Lee, I was like, oh my gosh, we all love our animals. Well, the GHKCU copper peptide is elevated. And when you look at the GHKCU, because again, I've been doing some deep dives for doctors over the course of the last 2 days. When you look at the wound healing that occurs in animals and also what occurs internally for the animals, it's pretty incredible. So just so excited that you guys could share that, because now my shepherd is now, I don't know what she did to both of her paws. She was jumping, and as she comes up the stairs, it's like she knew I was saying her name. And so she is completely patched on both sides. But I know that there's going to be some major changes because we're patching her. So I thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing. I would love to hear from Beryl. Beryl, if you could unmute yourself. I don't see your name on here, but I know you're on here because the person that messaged me said you are. Let's see if you're here. Is he here? Greg, you may need to help him unmute. Let's see if he answers. All right. Going once, going twice. I just got a text. Okay, while he unmutes, because I think he is, I would love to open up for more testimonies. Anybody else that can unmute and share their testimony, I would love to hear a testimony from someone else. I
Go
would
ahead,
love.
Stacey. Go talk.
Oh,
You want me
yes. Hi.
You want me to go, Britt?
You can. Here's Dalton right here.
Oh, okay. Delton, you want to go?
Oh, I'll go. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a pleasure to be here tonight and listening to all these good stories. Yes, in our case, we've been on it for 4 months and 2 days. And in my case, we went on it because my wife was near death. And the hospice nurse suggested that we might want to consider something, which was about the patch. And so she told us about it. And we said, well, let's try it on my wife. And I said, I think I need it too. So we did. And at 8 o'clock in the morning on the 15th of October, sorry, the 15th of October, we put the patch on her. And at 11, I was feeding her. And her eyes popped wide open. And she smiled at me and started verbalizing. I couldn't understand what she was saying, but she was attempting to verbalize. Well, since that time, we have seen miraculous things. In fact, I'll just give you an update on today. Today, uh, her sisters came over to help my daughter with some uh, potting plants, different plants, and she sat out there in the back with them and watched that. And then after that, I took her on a walk. We went to visit some of our neighbors on a walk. I have her in a wheelchair and I push her. And so we talk to each other now normally. And yesterday, the nurse and my wife were singing "Jesus Loves Me." This I know, that song that children often sing. And she joined right in and was singing with them. So these are just major things. And then last night I had a historic night. I slept 5.5 hours straight before I had to get up and use the restroom. And then I slept another 5.5 hours before I woke up for breakfast. So that was historic. So many wonderful things are happening. We get to go to church periodically when our daughter's able to help us to get into the vehicle and go visit family, friends, and it's just been a marvelous journey. And I would highly recommend it to anybody, and am recommending it to anybody. There are many people that they don't really understand or can get to grasp of what we've gone through and experienced, but uh, some will, and in time we hope to hear their own testimonies as they have joined us in patching. So
I
that's
love
it.
it. Your stories always get better and better and better. We just, I don't think that there's anybody that all of us root for more. So we
Well,
just hear your stories.
in 90 and 87, we're doing pretty good, I would say, and I feel younger and have more energy than I ever had that I can remember for a long time. So yes, very blessed.
I love it. Oh, well, thank you for sharing because every time there's another testimony, it just brings us more joy and more hope. And we just love every second of it. We love it. All right. Anyone else would like to share tonight?
I would.
Oh, good. Good, good, good. I'm looking for you. Yes.
It's me.
Our
And
dear Casey.
mhm. And this is about my dad. So for those of y'all that
Okay,
don't
fill us
know,
in, sister. Fill us
for those of you that don't know, my dad, he'll be 80 here in a couple of months. He's lived with us for 7 years. He was diagnosed 20 years ago with chronic liver failure, and he was given a very sad prognosis. Nonetheless, he's still here with us. And just this last year, around late September, early October, I started patching him. It got rid of the tumor behind his eye in 4.5 weeks. He's had that tumor behind his eye for 4 years, and it was gone in 4.5 weeks. But here's the latest and greatest news. So 3 weeks ago, I took him to get an EKG because when he was in the hospital, he was diagnosed with heart failure, and his ejection fraction was only at 30%. Um, and I've continued to patch him ever since. So he got an EKG done 3.5 weeks ago. We went to the cardiologist on Friday, and I hope y'all are sitting down, his ejection fraction now is 50%, y'all. He's only 5% below the normal range. He is working his way out of heart failure. And it's miraculous. And I mean, the miracles just keep happening. And he's almost 80. So um, this will, this can help anybody. If it can help him, it can help anybody.
So share with us what you do for a living.
Okay. Well, I have been a nurse for 26 years.
Yes.
Um, I currently help my husband and my son. We run a business. We have a family business. We own a diesel and equipment shop. We specialize in heavy duty. Um, and we've been doing that for the last 6 years. So while we're running a business, I also run my LifeWave business, and I share it with all of our customers, and I share it with, well, anybody that will talk to me, honestly. Um, because this is such a huge, huge blessing to, and I did get some more good news today. A friend of mine, a dear friend of mine, her 85-year-old dad, who was diagnosed years ago with macular degeneration, he had his first follow-up. He's been patching for 3 months, had his first follow-up with the eye doctor this afternoon. And for the first time ever since he received that dreadful diagnosis, a long time ago, his numbers have actually gotten better. That eye doctor brought his whole staff into the exam room with him and was like, "What are you doing? We have to know."
So
Mhm.
in so from your medical perspective, because that's the area that I wanted to kind of tap on because you're very knowledgeable. From your medical perspective with the stem cells, I know that a lot of times we're not taught what exactly stem cells do or that they go dormant. Were you aware that they went dormant? I mean, an honest answer, because I have some doctors that say that they weren't, others that say yes. What are you taught in the medical world about the stem cells?
We're not taught a lot about it in school. Um, my education about stem cells had to do more with how it could help people with that have autoimmunity or immunosuppressant problems. I, for a long time, I specialized in helping HIV positive addicts. So, and that's a very specialized area. I guess the most mind blowing thing that I learned since starting with LifeWave was I knew that stem cells went dormant. What I didn't know was how fast and early in life they start going dormant. That by the time we're 30, half of your stem cell army is asleep. Nobody wants to go to war every day with only half your army. I mean, that's kind of scary. And then by the time you're 60, you only have 10% of your army working for you. That was mind blowing to me. I have learned that since starting with this company, and I tell everybody that. And sometimes it sinks in, and other times it doesn't. But I promise you, they'll go home and they'll think about it, and it'll probably hit them like it hit me.
That's so,
Like, wow. I mean, that's significant.
yeah, that's really, really good.
Mm,
No, I love that. And I always love whenever you speak about your medical background, just because you make it easy for us to understand.
thank
Uh,
you.
so
She
I
should be a
appreciate
doctor.
you. She should be a doctor. This is why we do Testimony Tuesdays, because we're all family. We should,
That's right.
truly,
And a
we
lawyer.
and a lawyer. All women should be lawyers. But
That's
I
right.
love how, what's going on with your daddy. That has just been so good. And we're
Mhm.
just so glad. And so just keep them coming, girl. Keep
Such a blessing.
yes.
I'm so grateful for these patches. These patches have given me my life back. They gave me my daddy back. I've got, and Brittany, every person in my family has a patch on.
Yep.
I promise you.
There's one
Yep.
thing,
I love it.
she's a really good wife.
I'm a really good wife. That's sweet. I wonder what he wants.
I was gonna say, well, Testimony Tuesday after that.
Thank you
Oh,
for letting
well,
me share.
well, thank you for sharing. All right, we're gonna go back to my sister Stacy's, Miss Stacy.
Yes. Okay, all ladies, if you've had any tummy tucks or children born to cesarean, I had three, and I had what I called my bubble wrap.
Mm.
And it was where the incision was. The scarring was horrible. And I started noticing, I started feeling a little tingling sensation after wearing the patch for about a month. And about 3 months later, I was in the shower and I passed my hand, across my belly button and around my belly, and all of my bubble wrap was gone. All of the incision was blending into the color of my skin. And that just shook me. That was amazing to me. Day 5, I would have these real bad headaches, y'all. I would have sciatic nerve issues. A friend, Kim Laurie, called and says, "Hey, Stacey, are you still having those migraine headaches?" I mean, migraine headaches for years. And I said, "Girl, what you have?" And I didn't question her about it. I didn't care where it came from. I just wanted what she had because she said it was going to change my life. And y'all, I have not had a migraine headache since I started last year. not
That's so
one migraine headache. So that has spoken volumes to me. And also my eyes are changing. The lady that did the doctor that, she says, what are you doing? She says, all your stigmatizations are gone. And I was like, got it, girl. Let me show you. Let me tell you. And I was like, that's right. I don't have one on. And so I started telling her about the patch. Guys, it works. Given enough time, it will work on every single thing, but you have to give it time. Don't say, oh, I want to do it for a month or 2 months. No, 6 to 9 months. Don't be afraid of the subscription. You have Amazon's subscription. You have all of these other
Your cable,
subscriptions,
your cell phone.
all of them, your electricity. This will change your life given time.
I
And there's
love
so much more. There's so much more.
Well, every day, right? All of us are coming
Mhm.
out and it's like there's more and more. So, Stacy, thank you, sweet friend, because I love always hearing these other, the other stories that keep coming because they are coming. Oh, Mr. Nolan, let me go ahead, let me stop screen sharing. We're gonna have Mr. Nolan. I love it because there's more and more happening for Nolan. Share with us.
Good evening, everybody. Hey, I'm going to jump on quickly. I'm not talking about Nolan tonight. I want to tell you quickly about three people that I recently have helped put patches on. They're not ready to come on and talk yet. But I'm going to give you a little synopsis, and hopefully one of these days they'll be brave enough to do that. Yeah, they'll come in. They're coming. One lady had for several years some swallowing issues. Felt like everything got stuck in her throat, and so she had to be very cautious about what foods to eat and how fast or slow and all that. And since putting the patch on now, a little over a month, now she's like eating comfortable, just eat, not having to have all that caution and eat more foods that she'd not been eating. Another lady who is about, I believe she's 87. And, from the time it was me and another lady working on her to persuade her, and she finally accepted some patches, got some patches, started them on. First report was 3 nights in a row. I've slept all night, haven't been able to sleep in forever. Yay. And then another one was guy, very skeptical, very, very skeptical. It was a no, it was a no. Gilbert and I have been tag teaming. That's my brother. We've been tag teaming on this guy for a while. And finally, okay, okay. I think it was giving into the pressure, you know, I'm gonna buy a sleeve of these and get you off my back. And he's one of these guys, traveling salesman, drives all over the state and stuff. And he reported back before I could even reach out and touch base with him. He reported, you know what? No pains that I've had in my back and my neck for years and years. 2, 3 days in, that pain's way less than it has been. I'm going to keep wearing these things now. And I said, all right, keep bringing me reports.
It's
Thanks,
so
Brittany.
much fun. Yes, I love it. It's so much fun loving our people. It's just so much fun because we get to be that little beacon of hope. I always tell everybody, just honor me when you decide that you're going to wear the patch because I want to be a part of your story. That's all I care about. I just want to be a part of your story. So what I will say is that this technology every single day on every single person it works, including your animals and your horses. We also have a technology called the AccuLife, and that will block the pain in the animals and the discomfort in the animals. We have Ice Wave that will block your pain immediately, but AccuLife actually blocks the pain for animals. And the reason why I'm talking about that today is because I was able to put it on our dog. And she went from not being able to go and make it to the bathroom this last, I don't know, a couple of days. It was strange to her being able to walk over to the bath to go to the bathroom and then go and get her food. So just utilize the technology. It's absolutely incredible. 12 hours on, 12 hours off for the X39. Place it wherever it's bothering your body's bothering you. To receive the patent, there are two places that they had to select. So David Schmidt selected underneath the belly button for the most open point to the gut, and on the back of the neck for the most open point to there. But this guy right here, this guy, this is my X39. It's just I mean, we wear it all the time. I mean, wherever we want to. It's my adult show and tell. So you can wear it wherever you want. The future of household technology is the X39. I will tell you that LifeWave is going to be in every single household across the world. There's a documentary that's coming out about our company. And so it's really neat because, I mean, truly, it just never, ever stops. The miracles never, never stop. So, you know, if you say, somebody tonight needed to hear this, you're absolutely right. And there's two opportunities this week for them, two more opportunities for them to hear. Do know that this technology can only come from LifeWave. Please beware. You cannot get this from anywhere else other than a brand partner or for a retail plus 15%. And you can get this technology for only $99 a month versus 179 or 150, which I would just not do. So you can become a preferred customer, or you can say, you know what, I want to become somebody that, well, either I have a large family like my husband and I did, or you just say, I want to at least patch my family and share this technology. You can do that as well. But this is all about the fact that we want you to have hope. You can mix and match the patches in any of these packages. So there's other technologies. The X39 is your mama bear patch. Okay, I'm wearing the Eon right here. You can see I'm wearing the Eon because I had some inflammation on my neck from traveling. And so the Eon is known as the gentle giant for for inflammation. So if you have a lot of inflammation, you can absolutely package that in with here. But what I do want you all to hear is there are two calls this week. So tonight, if you say, okay, I absolutely need this technology, you want to get back to the person that invited you if you're a guest. But this is the call that you actually have for tomorrow. So if you say, I'm excited, I want my family to wear this technology, I want my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, my neighbor, they need this, they desperately need it. Our very own Dr. Duggar is going to be the guest speaker tomorrow night. And so we're so excited. And also, a eye doctor. So how many of you know people with eye issues? Well, she'll be jumping on tomorrow night as well. And our friend Danny McDaniel is going to be hosting that. So this is not for social media. Please do not post this. This is for you to share with your friends, your family, your loved ones that you desperately just want to hear about this technology so that they can live a full life. And then the other one that is happening is Friday at 1 o'clock. If you're a part of our organization, there's a men's call every Friday at 1 o'clock. Men, keep getting on that call. But with Nurse Patty Glick, a practitioner of ours, she's going to be doing a 15-minute overview, very similar to what you all heard tonight, how the technology works, and then doing a Q&A. So these are just some awesome opportunities. Make sure that you screenshot this one as well for you guys to love your people so well and impact their lives forever. People are waiting for this. They are so waiting and praying for this. Guys, truly, I cannot tell you, if you were a guest tonight, I so pray that you're filled with hope in such a powerful way. I really, really do. Because really, there is hope on the other side, and we want to be that beacon of light for you. And so, if you're new, we do pray that over the next couple weeks, as your testimony grows, that you jump on Testimony Tuesday and share with us what is happening for you, because it just passes hope. And we hope that we will see you tomorrow night. Again, if you're a guest for tomorrow night, I do want you to know tomorrow night will probably fill up, and it fills up at 1,000. And so it will probably fill up. So I would highly recommend that if you do have a family member or a guest coming on, that you do tell them to just kind of get in the queue about 10 minutes early. So with that, guys, we're so excited for you to be a part of tonight. And there's going to be so many more testimonies next week. And so with that, I pray that every single one of you guys have an incredible evening. We will see you tomorrow night for the doctor's call. Even if you cannot be on the doctor's call, that's fine. Let the doctors do the work for you and go to dinner with your spouse. Whatever it is, go on a date, go to church. It's fine. This technology is here for you, and the doctors are here to talk about it for you. So, with that, God bless all of you, and we pray that you have an incredible evening. Take care.